Good morning, everyone. My name is Henry Reyes, and I'm your host for the Strength Journey podcast and YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about weight loss and gain for teens. The methods, the facts, what I suggest, all coming up. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. How do you lose or gain weight? Well, losing or gaining weight is from burning more calories than you eat, so that would be losing weight, or eating more calories than you burn, which would be gaining weight. So what are calories? Calories are basically energy that you get from eating food. So things like carbs, fat, and protein all have calories. Carbs and protein have 4 calories per gram, so 1 gram of protein is about 4 calories, and fat has 9 calories per gram of fat. So how do you burn calories? Well, you burn calories by doing anything that requires energy. So just living in general requires energy, like breathing. So if you're staying in bed all day, that would be your basal metabolic rate, which is the minimum amount of calories you needed to live. And also, you can do things like work out or just walk around, talk to people. Those are things that you do to get your metabolism going and you start burning more and more calories. There are 3 body types. There's the ectomorph, mesomorph, and the endomorph. The ectomorph is like a skinny and frail. They lose weight really easily, and it's really hard for them to put on muscle. They have flat chests and small shoulders. They're the skinnier guys you see. Now the mesomorph are the more athletic. They can put on a little bit more weight. They can put on a little bit muscle easier, and they don't get completely overweight, but they lose fat easier than the endomorph. So the endomorph are the bigger people, the rounder bodies. They gain muscle and fat really, really easily. They're stocky and sometimes shorter. And those are the 3 body types. You can figure out which one you are, and we can go from there. What is BMI? BMI stands for your body mass index. So it doesn't really mean anything except for how much mass you have on your body for how tall you are. As an average human of this height would have this much on his body. If you're muscular, it doesn't work because it's like, oh, you're overweight, but in reality you just have muscle on you. So it's kind of stupid, but do with it what you will. Now that you know more about yourself, you can assess what plan of action best fits you. Before I tell you the methods of weight loss and gain, I want each of you to ask 4 unbiased and honest people about whether they think that you should change, whether that's lose or gain weight, or if you're healthy where you are. If majority of them say that you need to change weight, then you probably do, and that you probably should take up some sort of dieting plan as well as a strength training plan. However, if the majority of people say that you look healthy, or only 2 out of the 4 people said that you should change, then you probably don't need to change your caloric intake that much, and what you do need to start doing is including a strength training plan into your daily routine. Beginning with body weight and simple lifts are the best for beginner lifters. So like push-ups, sit-ups, squats, lunges, pull-ups are all great things to get into as you're in your teenage years and you want to build a base before you start lifting the heavy weights. And you guys can find many beginner workouts online, and I will be making a plan for one shortly. Working out or strength training of any type is necessary for weight loss and weight gain. I suggest that you stick to some plan for about 5 weeks of 20 minutes to an hour max, and you'll surely see some results. But remember, it's really important to stay consistent, either every day or every other day, or 3 days on and 1 day off, whatever it is, for only 5 weeks. Give it your all and you should start to see some results. Remember, burnout is a real thing, so you don't want to overdo it with high intensity lifts. You shouldn't be going to the gym for more than an hour and a half max or an hour max. You're gonna lose interest, and then you're going to quit, and you're gonna be back where you started. So keep it simple and keep it effective. Back to dieting. Now that you know what's right for you, we can talk about dieting plans. I used to be chubby, and the dieting plan that my dad told me was to just eat better quality foods. I had been eating things that had made me fat, like waffles and constant bagels with cream cheese and ham sandwiches, nothing great. So the rule he had for me was I could only eat 3 unhealthy things a day, and then the rest had to be like good things like chicken breast, broccoli salad, steak. I see that I could eat as many of that as I want, so I began to change my breakfast slowly, and then I began to eat more and more healthy things because I could eat as many of them as I wanted to fill me up, like yogurt, protein shakes, and then eventually got to a point where I was filled up on that stuff where I didn't have to eat the amount of carbs and unhealthy food because I was full from the healthy food, which really benefited me, and I got to see tremendous results. My breakfast began changing from waffles and syrup a day to eggs and a protein shake every morning, which wasn't immediate but gradual over about a month, and I suggest it to anyone that wants to start eating healthier. That's probably one of the best changes to starting your day off right. It helped me a lot. This last and probably most effective method is the baseline for all weight loss and weight gain. So to start, you need to find your maintenance calorie number. What that means is the amount of calories you need to eat a day to maintain your current body weight. So for me, it'd probably be a little over 2,000 because I'm pretty active. Also, you gotta take into consideration how many calories you burn a day. If you're not working out, then you should start doing that and then testing it out and see where you are. So once you know your maintenance calorie number, you either can eat more than that to gain weight or less than that to lose weight. Billionaire Alex Hormozi put it in a very simple way. He said, so you multiply your body weight by every number from 7 to 21 depending on what you want. So every 3 numbers is a different category. So if you multiply your body weight by 7, 8, or 9, it's extreme weight loss because you're not going that much higher up above your body weight. But then if you're going 10, 11, and 12, that is moderate weight loss. And then 13, 14, 15, if you multiply your body weight by one of those, it should be around there in how much a day you should be eating for your maintenance calorie level. 16, 17, and 18 are your moderate weight gains. So you multiply your body weight by one of those, you're gonna gain some weight. And then 19, 20, and 21 are your extreme weight gains. For the sake of us being teenagers, I want everyone to be from the lowest you can be is 11 and the highest you can be is 17 for weight loss and weight gain. Teens shouldn't be close to doing anything extreme. You're still growing, and then once you put on that crazy weight, you're gonna have to figure out a way to take it off. And if you do bulk that hard, a lot of the weight is gonna come in as fat, and in reality you probably don't want that. Alright, so also with the numbers, if let's say your body weight is 120. Alright, so if you're gonna do the most amount of weight loss that I suggest or even get close to would be 11. So if you take your body weight here, we're gonna use a calculator, so 120 times and then 11, you get 1,320 calories. That's how much you should be eating for a pretty solid weight loss. And then if you want to figure out where your maintenance calorie level probably is for 120, you want to go, so 120 times, we can go 14. So your maintenance calorie level is probably 1,680. Now, if you're trying to do a weight gain, and if we're going all the way up to 17, which is the farthest I'll let you go, is, so 120 times 17, 2,040 calories for your weight gain. So that's basically how much you got to be eating, and that's kind of how that scale works. You could use it or don't. Remember, I'm not a nutritionist, so take a doctor's word over mine. You'll likely find that 11 to 17 and incorporating a training plan fixes almost all of your problems. And also, one thing that I believe is teens shouldn't have crazy ads like the social media influencers. One that's unhealthy and completely unnecessary. It leaves you hungry, angry, malnourished, and can cause eating disorders and can even reduce your growth. Also, here's a tip, not every day needs to be a dieting day. You can do it dieting like workout days, like, all right, 3 days on, 1 day off, or every day except for Sundays, or you have that one cheat day. If you want, whatever works for you, go with it. Take it at your own pace. It's very important to do that when you're starting to make changes to your life. Body fat percentage is hard to find unless you go to get unless you go to a body scan or you have like an idea of where it is, your scale. And 2, it's just a general idea of where you should be as a teenager. It doesn't matter until you're in your, I'd say like 19, 20 and up. Just an idea of where you should start to be thinking about getting around would be from like 10% to, let's say like 22%, 23%. It's just an idea, and it doesn't matter until you're older, but that's for later on in line, depending on how old you are. And don't worry if you're not in there. If you're lower or higher, that's perfectly fine. Everyone's built different. You should be able to see your results after a few months of training. For dieting, number 1, you shouldn't take it too seriously and worry about every calorie. This creates eating disorders. You should focus on, instead of every single calorie, eating your body weight number in grams of protein. Now you'll find that if you weigh 120 pounds, you should eat 120 grams of protein a day, or aim for it. Just look at the back of the nutrition of everything you eat, like, oh, this is how much is in the cereal, the eggs, this yogurt, whatever, and try to hit 120, if that's you. Number 2 for dieting. You should eat in your surplus or your cut for 5 to 8 weeks, definitely no more than 2 months. You have a bodybuilding show to prepare for, so you don't need to go on these really long cuts to get super lean or these really big bulks to get super huge. You should do this healthily for 5 to 8 weeks and you will see results. After that, you should take a break, go back to whatever your maintenance is, and reassess yourself. Obviously continue training, and then you should realize that it's got you started and you're on a good path. You probably don't need to diet that much anymore after that, or if you do, you can for sure do it at your own leisure. If you're becoming obsessed or constantly fatigued, this needs to stop. You have to go at your own rate. Remember, I'm not a nutritionist, so take your doctor's word over mine. I'm just telling you what has worked for me in the past and what could work for you too. If you have any more questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram or comment on YouTube. That's all for today. Be strong, be healthy, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.